Hello, mis amores, and today we are doing something very different. For that reason, I'm wearing this tie very differently, just to see how many of you guys will be triggered by this. And triggered is also a great word to describe this video, because today I will judge or see what you guys are triggered by when it comes to food. Basically, I asked you guys over on Instagram what your food-related icks are. I actually hate that word ick, but I also couldn't come up with something better. And I'm here to judge if you're rightfully triggered by the things that you're triggered by or not, because you don't get to have an opinion about what you're triggered by. Also, when I'm uploading this video, I am about to see my favorite singer live, so I'm happy. Look guys, can you see this great wintry cafe scene? It's like a YouTube video that I put on my TV to have in the background, but now I'm realizing that you can barely see it. I wish I was there right now. That looks so cozy. I want to cuddle up and read a book there. I asked, what are your biggest food related icks? A friend of mine replied, I read biggest dicks, of course. Anyway, I think the most common ick is, of course, eating noises, or when people make a lot of noise of any kind while eating or can't keep their mouth shut while chewing. This is okay, generally what I expected to read when I asked that question. I think it's very valid as well. I am not the biggest fan of chewing noises. However, I've kind of grown used to them. I'm fine with whatever my eating partner is fine with. I just personally like to eat as quietly as possible because I don't want to be an annoyance. No, I get it. I don't need to know what's going on in your mouth. This is for meat eaters, but this is also something that I used to struggle with back when I still ate meat. And it's the white chewy shit inside the raw chicken. I don't know, chicken to me is really... I liked eating it. Raw chicken to me is just... no.
Sorry to this man.
I am not a picky eater in terms of like textures. Like I would still eat it, but I can definitely understand if someone is triggered by it. Someone said vegetarian now, but I could never eat meat when ordering takeout. Always gave me the ick. Which is really strange to me because I basically became a vegetarian just because I would never buy or prepare meat at home. At some point I just told myself like, you might as well not eat it at all anymore. The only times I would eat was when I had takeout. I guess I'm just the complete opposite, but mostly because I was a student and I couldn't afford shit. Oh, this is German. Finger licking while or after eating without having washed your hands. To be fair, washing your hands and then licking your fingers kind of defeats the purpose. Like, why would I lick my fingers then? Obviously, I'm licking them just to get the taste of whatever's still on there from the food that I just ate, but yeah, I don't do that. Maybe I will do it when I'm at home, when I would have cleaned my hands already, then ate whatever food without touching anything else except for the food, and then maybe I would lick my fingers. Even that is kind of not really for me. So I would probably like wash my hands. But then like obviously I wouldn't lick my fingers afterwards. This is also valid to me. I was kind of expecting that I would disagree with many of you guys, but so far these have all kind of been valid. Except someone said, I hate everything about spinach, which is like, why? And someone said, I don't understand how people can like kiwi. It makes my tongue feel weird. Like, yeah, sometimes if you eat too much of it or the kiwi just tastes weird, but like kiwi is one of my favorite fruits, so shut the fuck up. That is a thing? When someone rolls their pizza into a burrito and eats it like that. That's offensive. That's weird.
That's suspicious.
I don't think that should be done. Who does that? Who is in such a rush to eat this pizza that this would have to be done? This is a crime. Too little sauce and the food is dry, or that it lacks spices and flavors. The spices and flavors stuff I kind of get. Obviously, I'm born and raised in Germany, so I've had my fair share of unseasoned food. So I'm not really like triggered by it or stuff, but in my life, I've also experienced some really amazingly and richly flavored food. I would always opt for that. So I guess if you're like born and raised eating this kind of food that is very rich in flavors, of course I'd be triggered by food that is just bland. The dry part, I don't know about, because I personally like my food to be rather on the drier side than on the too wet side. Wet bread. Why would your bread be wet? In what instance? Like, are you a duck? Oh, actually, sometimes I do like to dip a little bread into soup. Do you consider that wet bread then? In what other instance would your bread be wet? That person seems to have a history with wet bread, which is alarming. Maybe they grew up around ducks. Yeah, I feel like there are two types of eaters, because this person is triggered by someone mixing up everything. I guess all of the things that are on a plate. While I personally don't do it, I know a lot of people that do it. I'm not personally triggered by it. I also eat like each ingredient on their own most of the time and like maybe mix it in the mouth. I like for my plate just to look organized. Again, I live with someone who basically mixes up everything and like wants to eat it all at the same time. That's perfectly fine. I mean, she finds great joy in that. If I were to cook for her and she'd mix up everything and ate it at the same time, then like, great, as long as it tastes great for you, like as long as you like it more that way, I'm fine. When it's my turn to pay and they order the most expensive item, like bro, come on. It is kind of weird, no? I don't really like splitting bills. If I go out with someone for dinner, I like the sometimes verbal agreement or sometimes non-verbal agreement that this time I'm paying and next time you're just gonna pay. It doesn't always even out perfectly. But at the same time, like if I know you're paying, then I'm not gonna get the most expensive thing on the menu. It is a little bit weird. But then again, if they really wanted to eat that. It's definitely weird though if you realize that they do it on purpose. Someone wiping their mouth and laying the napkin openly on the table with the dirt on it. Oh. I didn't realize that that is a thing. Now I'm wondering if I do that or if I've ever done that. Why would I lay the napkin on the table? Except when I'm done eating, then I'll wipe my mouth, fold the napkin, but not that you can see the thing that I just wiped off of my mouth, and then put it on the plate. My napkin is usually on my lap. Would I be triggered by this? I actually don't like looking at other people's plates. Not because I'm triggered by them, but I don't want them to be triggered by me looking at their plate. That's why I also don't really get food envy. So I guess I wouldn't even notice if someone put their napkin down. So just like, why are you looking at the plate? Look me in the eye. Not right now though, because must die. Food scraps at the bottom of the sink. Oh, I don't like that either. I understand that. I feel like part of doing the dishes is also cleaning out the sink. But to me also, the sink is kind of the dirty part. And then like the drying rack or wherever you put it to dry, that's like the clean part. So I guess that's an ick. Like whenever someone puts something dirty, packaging, food packaging, or anything other than clean dishes on the drying rack, I guess that's my kind of ick. Because I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be the cleanest part in the kitchen. Oh, this one could be a controversial one. Because I also think there are different kind of people when it comes to that. Servers, please do not ask me every minute if everything is okay. Please give me some time. This is something I've definitely noticed when it comes to more fine dining. I feel like the higher in class a restaurant is deemed or wants to be, the more talkative or in your business the servers are. And I personally, as I'm not really good at talking to strangers, I also don't really like that. So obviously they want your experience to be as great as possible. I just guess that, you know, the bosses just don't want the guests to feel ignored. For them, that's probably worse than being too much, you know? But I've been to places where I'm like, you know, I'd rather be ignored than this. I'm curious what kind of person you are. When a person gets a lot of food stuck in their teeth, this is such a precarious situation because I would want everyone to tell me I don't want to run around with food stuck between my teeth. It's weirder for someone to tell me or me to realize after eating where I'm no longer in the situation where that would have happened. Then I don't want to know anymore if I've got something stuck between my teeth. Don't be triggered by it. Like, that's kind of rude. It happens. My teeth are also kind of prone for stuff to get stuck between them. So it's just natural, but like, please say something. I think we should all strive to be people who say something. That's funny. People who don't hold forks well. I don't know if that makes sense. Of course, I've seen people somehow holding their forks in a different way than I would. It's never been so weird that I would have been like, how the fuck are you holding your fork? I wonder what that person had seen for them to write this. Arnari, this person hates me. Or the old Vincent at least.
I'm sorry, the old tailor can't come to the phone right now.
When people add salt before they've even tried the meal. Bro, check it first. I'm sorry, I used to be obsessed with salt. And I just knew, and I was never wrong, that the food is not salty enough for me. I think I've kind of tamed my obsession with salt a little, that now I do taste it first and then put salt. I think it's totally valid. Some people are just obsessed with salt, which is not really healthy and stuff. Some people just know that it's not gonna be salty enough for them. Also, salt tastes different, or the experience of eating something salty is different when the salt is incorporated in that something, or if the salt just sits on top. It tastes different, it feels different, so I can still kind of understand it. Maybe that's why they're doing it, for the experience of having salt sit on top. When someone sticks out their tongue when they're about to take a bite. Listen, this is an ick that I found out about myself, I think. I wouldn't call it ick. I'd call it something that I would like to no longer do. Obviously, I film a lot of food videos, so I watch myself eat often, even though I usually skip that part. But I've noticed sometimes when I put it in my mouth, I kind of stick my tongue out a little, kind of wrap the food in it first, and like,
I don't want to see that.
Not a bit of me. What? Someone using the wrong cutlery for a specific food, like a big fork for a piece of cake. Sometimes it tastes better off of a big fork. Also, I don't have small forks. As long as it lands in my mouth without it going everywhere, like, why would I not use whatever cutlery there is, or whatever cutlery I want to use?
You're wrong for that.
When people stick their fingers in their mouth while eating wings. I know we talked about sticking your fingers in your mouth, but I just wanted to touch on wings for a quick second, because back when I still ate meat, I did like wings a lot. I could never eat it with my fingers, because there was just something so wrong to me about ripping the meat off of the bone. That just felt so Stone Age to me. So unnecessarily cruel. Like, we're not animals. Why am I like, nar? Okay, I've got one more ick that I'm personally offended by, and I think we should all as a group come for this person.
Michael?
It's offensive. This is a joke, by the way. Please do not come for this person. Michael says coconut is disgusting. You know what else is disgusting? Your opinion. Coconut is like one of the best things in the world. And saying it's disgusting is honestly offensive. It's just wrong. Like, you're wrong. Coconut water, however, that's something else. I think you meant to say coconut water, because coconut is lovely, just perfect the way it is, which you would be too if you hadn't written this reply. All love, Michael. I can't do this hard. Actually, I can. Sorry, I'm still in this era. This is like I'm cool and edgy. This is like I'm wholesome. Now that I've talked about all the things that people hate about food, I feel very hungry, and so I guess I'm gonna eat. Actually gonna have a coffee. Let me know if I should react to more stuff like that. Maybe not even just food related. And maybe wear this tie differently next time. What else could I do with that? Maybe next time I'll just pretend it's a scarf. Slay. Thank you guys for joining me in roasting you. I didn't even roast you. Most of these things I could kind of understand, so you're valid. Your existence is valid. Except Michael's opinion about coconut. Sorry, Michael. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Y entonces nos vemos la próxima vez. Bye.